Nice day. Today is Wednesday, 27th of November 2024. This day is famous for the celebration as a National Organ Donation Day in India. The day aims to raise awareness about the organ donation and selfless contributions of disease donor to healthcare and society. The National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare organizes the day. Starting the newspaper with the world news, including Benjamin Netanyahu lists three key reasons for Israel's ceasefire deal with the Hezbollah. Israel and Hezbollah agree to ceasefire deal, announces President Biden. British lawmakers vote in favor of new anti-smoking rules. United Kingdom's John Tinniswood, world's oldest man, dies at 112. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announces Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire deal, says Hezbollah not the same. ISKCON mock Chinmoy Das held in the Bangladesh for sedition. All you need to know. Now with the Hindu newspaper, we have some brief discussion. Netanyahu's office says his cabinet has approved a ceasefire deal with the Hezbollah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Ceasefire will begin at 4 a.m. local time, GMT. Mr. Biden said, speaking at the White House after Mr. Netanyahu's office announced that his ministers had approved the deal. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's security cabinet has approved a ceasefire deal with the Hezbollah, clearing the way for the truce to take effect. Netanyahu's office said the plan was approved by 10-1 margin, and late night vote came shortly before the President Joe Biden was expected to announce the details of the deal in the Washington. A ceasefire to end hostilities between Israel and Lebanon will protect Israel from the threat of Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah and create the conditions for a lasting calm, United States President Joe Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron said Tuesday, November 26, 2024. The announcement today will cease the fighting in Lebanon and secure Israel from the threat of the Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations operating from Lebanon. The two leaders said in a joint statement, adding that the deal will create the conditions to restore lasting calm. Blast rocks Beirut moments after the Biden announces Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire. Smoke rises after Israel airstrike in Hamra. Amid the ongoing hostilities between Hezbollah and Israeli forces, Lebanon, November 26, 2024. At least 24 people have been killed in strikes across Lebanon, according to the local authorities, as Israel signaled it aims to keep pumping Hezbollah. Before the ceasefire is set to take a hold at 4 a.m. local time on Wednesday, at least one Israeli airstrike shook the Lebanese capital of Beirut. Moments after the United States President Joe Biden said Israel and Hezbollah had agreed to ceasefire deal. At least 24 people have been killed in a strike across the Lebanon, according to the local authorities, as Israel signaled it aims to keep pummeling Hezbollah before the ceasefire is set to take hold at 4 a.m. local time on Wednesday, November 27, 2024. Hezbollah also fired rockets into Israel on Tuesday, triggering air raid sirens across the country's north. Seal of authenticity to certify Jammu and Kashmir crafts for global market. Jammu and Kashmir in Indian Territory, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha with the WCC President Saad Al-Khadoumi during the 60th Jubilee celebration of the World Craft Council in Srinagar on November 26, 2024. The initiative aims to address the pressing need for globally recognized certification of crafts from Jammu and Kashmir World Craft Council, President Saad Al-Khadoumi said. The focus on Kashmir's famed handicraft was sharpened on Tuesday, November 26, 2024, as the members of the World Crafts Council (WCC), an international advocacy body, announced the seal of authenticity of the craft will certify handmade crafts produced with the centuries-old processes in Jammu and Kashmir. The initiative aims to address the pressing need for a globally recognized certification of crafts from Jammu and Kashmir. It is a significant step toward the encouraging quality and ownership. This will start with the textile industry, Saad Al-Khadoumi, president of the WCC, said in a Srinagar. Mr. Kodomi made the announcement at the WCC's 60th anniversary celebration in Srinagar, and an event attended by the global artisans from 15 countries. The WCC event came in the backdrop of the Srinagar's recognition as a world craft city by the international body, which is at the forefront of the empowering artisans and safeguarding heritage globally. The recognition opens a new door for Srinagar. We are now at a historic moment by signing an agreement with the Jammu and Kashmir, which reflects our collective vision of positioning Srinagar as a global hub for crafts for multiple initiatives, Mr. Kodomi said. The event also saw the participation of artisans from Iran and Central Asia, which will foster cross-cultural learning, celebrate shared heritage, and open up avenues for reviving lost techniques, officials said. Now going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Donald Trump appointed Jay Bhattacharya as National Institute of Health Director. United President-elect Donald Trump has nominated Jay Bhattacharya as the director of the National Institute of Health. Jayanta Jay Bhattacharya is a research associate at the National Bureau of Economic Research and estimated professor of the health policy at Stanford University. Bhattacharya, an economist from Kolkata, has studied medicine at Stanford University. He has advocated for the NIH to increase the funding for innovative research and reduce the influence of its long-serving officials. He is the professor of health policy at the Stanford University and a research associate at the National Bureau of Economic Research. He also directs Stanford's Center for Demography and Economics of Health and Aging. Bhattacharya's research focuses on the health and well-being of vulnerable population, examining the role of government programs, biomedical innovations, and economics. His recent works, including studying the epidemiology of COVID-19 and evaluating policy responses to the pandemic. Moreover, his broader interests include the impact of the population aging on the health and the medical spending, the measurement of the physician performance linked to the payment systems, and the influence of the biomedical innovation on the health, according to the Stanford University. Manipur turns again as man goes missing in army camp. Demonstrators hold placards as they take part in the protest rally against the recent killing and reimposition of the Armed Forces Special Power Act (APSAPA) in 6 police stations areas of Manipur. Tensions gripped parts of the Imphal West district in ethnic strife torn Manipur on Tuesday after a 56-year-old man belonging to the Metis community remained missing for over 24 hours from the 57 Mountain Division Lemhakong Army Camp, officers said. Lashram Kamal Babu, a resident of Loitang Kuno village in Imphal West, was a speeder involved in the contract work at the army camp. According to his family, Kamal's mobile phone has been switched off since 2 p.m. on Monday after he left for work at the Lemhakong Army Camp. Now going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, Japan flags issue top the steel consignments blocks at Indian ports. Domestic industry also impacted by restrictions. The development coincides with the intensified lobbying by large Indian steel companies, which are pushing for the measures to curb surging imports that are affecting their profitability. Trade experts have said that India's steel consuming industry are facing a crisis due to the prolonged port delays and bureaucratic hurdles. In run-up to elections, Dolly knocks at the centre's door for a 10,000 crore loan. In a month of September, two notes, Dolly's principal secretary finance Ashish Chandra Verma is learned to have objected to the option of taking loans from the NSS this fiscal. Despite the concerns raised by the state's finance department, Chief Minister Atishi, who also held the finance portfolio, gave a go-ahead to taking loans from the NSS scheme on existing terms and conditions. Moody's downgrades Adani firm's rating outlook to negative. Moody's action follows that of Fitch ratings on a Monday and that of S&P Global last week. The Adani Group's corporate house on the outskirts of the Ahmedabad. Going to the science and tech, we have between hope and hurdles on the high seas. Biodiversity beyond the national jurisdiction BBN agreements biggest limitation is its inability to reconcile high seas governance with the coastal regulations. India's signing of the Biodiversity Beyond the National Jurisdiction (BBN) agreement has earned praise but also drawn skepticism on account of structural complexities and challenges. India's recent signing of the Biodiversity Beyond the National Jurisdiction (BBNJ) agreement, better known as the High Seas Treaty, has drawn both the praise and skepticism from the maritime observers, hailed as a landmark step in ocean governance. The treaty seeks to protect the marine ecosystem and promote the sustainable use of the resources in areas beyond the national jurisdiction. However, despite its laudable intentions to address the critical gaps in the international maritime regulation, the pact's structural complexities and potential challenges warrant closer examination. As the third implementing agreement under the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea (UNCLOS), the BBNJ treaty follows earlier accords on deep sea mining and fisheries management. Its provisions focus on three objectives. First is conserving marine biodiversity, ensuring equitable sharing of the benefits from the marine genetic resources, and mandating environmental impact assessment for the harmful activities. Yet, like many ambitious multilateral agreements, it risks faltering against geopolitical rivalries, jurisdictional overlap, and weak enforcement mechanisms. An ideal way to treat India's corneal blindness problem. General hospitals are sites for the motivating corneal donations. A consent-driven donation approach is a step that can eliminate avoidable corneal vision loss. Despite strong support for eye donation in India, with the millions, including the popular film actors, pledging to donate, an acute shortage of corneas persists. There is a need to perform about 1 lakh corneal transplants every year, but only 30% of this need is being met. On the demand side, many fellow citizens led a lifetime of avoidable sight loss waiting for sight restoring tissue. The solution on supply side are the millions who are dying in Indian hospitals every day who are eligible to donate their tissues but do not. Why? What if we presume consent and treat them all as cornea donors? News report note that indeed a presumed consent amendment to the Transplantation of Human Organs and Tissues Act (TOTA) 1994 is in the works to allow the cornea revival from the eligible deaths in the hospital. TOTA, Transplantation of Human Organ and Tissue Act 1994, remember. Climate Finance MPT promises at Conference of Party 29. In this week's episode, we will take a look at the outcome of the 2024 Climate Conference of Parties, which was held in the Baku, Azerbaijan, and recent spate of storms that hit the Philippines. (2024) biggest climate conference, COP29, split into an extra day on Saturday, a day after its scheduled concluding date. This was because of the participating countries were not happy with the $250 billion a year promised by 2035 by rich countries in the drafted text of the new finance deal. This money is meant to help vulnerable countries deal with the global warming and transition to cleaner energy. The draft text was published on Friday. On Saturday, the Associated Press reported that a rich nation has proposed raising the offer from $250 billion to $300 billion, which is still lower than what has been demanded. There was no official confirmation of this until Saturday evening. Rapid increase of Himalayan glacial lakes. National Green Tribunal issued notice to center others. Zanskar Valley, Ladakh. National Green Tribunal notices rapid Himalayan glacial lake expansion, raising concerns over the natural disaster risks, calls for urgent action. The National Green Tribunal has issued notice to a center and others in the matter regarding the a rapid expansion of the Himalayan glacial lakes, raising concerns over the increasing risk of natural disasters. The National Green Tribunal took so motto on its own cognizance of the news reports showing about 10.81% increase of the glacial lakes in the last 13 years due to the rising temperatures. According to the report, the melting of glaciers due to the increase in temperature paved way for larger glacial lakes which held more water and in turn increased the risk of natural disasters like floods and landslides. In an order passed on November 19, a bench of National Green Tribunal Chairperson Justice Prakash Srivastava and expert member A. Senthilvale said the report also notes that the surface area of the glacial lakes in India has increased 33.7% from 2011 to 2024. It said the matter indicates a violation of the Biodiversity Act, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, and the Environmental Protection Act. The tribunal issued notice to the Secretary of the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the Director GB Pact Institute of Himalayan Environment, and the Central Pollution Control Board. It directed the respondents of parties to file their replies or responses a week before the next hearing on the March 10. At last, there's a famous personality, the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary politician and a philanthropist who served as the first black president of the South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was a pivotal figure in the struggle against the apartheid system of racial segregation and discrimination that oppressed the black majority in South Africa for decades. Born Rolihlahla Mandela in 1918, he adopted the name Nelson during his early education. He studied law and became involved in anti-apartheid activism, joining the African National Congress (ANC) in 1944. His commitment to ending apartheid to imprisonment for 27 years, most famously on Robben Island. After his release in 1990, Mandela played a crucial role in negotiating the end of the apartheid and the transition to a democratic South Africa. He was elected the president in 1994, became the first black head of the state in the country's history. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid and promoting racial reconciliation. Mandela's leadership was marked by his emphasis on forgiveness, reconciliation, and building a united South Africa. He retired from politics in 1999, but continued to be a global advocate for peace, justice, and human rights. He passed away in 2013, leaving behind a legacy as an icon of the anti-apartheid struggle and a symbol of hope for oppressed people around the world. Mr. Mandela says a very famous quotation. She says that what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we led. Okay, thank you.